Well, you can expect to hear a lot of political noise right now. Every party will be slinging mud at the other, and the debates can get a little ugly. But ultimately, people's daily realities lie at the core of this year's elections. This election is about basic service delivery. Does your water work? Is the nearby park full of litter? Well, we've deployed our reporters to help look at these concerns. Live now, we've got reporters LINDOKUHLE in Johannesburg and NKOSAZANA DAMBUZA in Mpumalanga. Let's start with Lindo. Lindo, good morning to you.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Annika. Well, I can tell you that we are back in Shawela. This is a community that had a meeting yesterday speaking exactly about some of those issues, the issue of electricity, the issue of service delivery. They had a meeting that was quite progressive in its nature, speaking about how they are not willing to actually disrupt the issue, or rather the democratic process of people voting, despite having issues. But what they are saying is that they will be trying to organize themselves as community members to say that when the time comes, they'll then be able to actually try and address those issues, but that will be after the elections. I just want to bring in a gentleman here, a community leader from this community who was part of the organizing residents and actually having that meeting yesterday. But Baba, I want to first focus on that issue that you were speaking to me about just now, the issue of saying that you were part of the first councillors after South Africa got its democracy in 1994.
Yes.
Give us a sense of some of the things that you wanted to achieve, some of the policies you've implemented at that time to ensure that people get the necessary services.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me try to remind our people what were the aims and objectives when we get this, when we come to power in 1994. As all of the people of South Africa knows, that we were excluded in the mainstream of the economy of this country, and our people were left behind. The people that benefited out of the apartheid are the minorities. When we got in, we introduced IDP, Integrated Development Plan, so that now, even BEE, so that now we can uplift the lives of the people that were left behind during the time of apartheid, so that now we can come on par with our white counterparts. That is why we cancelled the apartheid structures. As all the people of South Africa know that we had Soweto Council, we had other councillors from different areas where black people were excluded from the mainstream of economy. Then when we came in, we came up with integrated development plan to share the wealth of the country. The profits that are being benefited from Johannesburg, they must be shared to the people of this country. Now,
let me get in there. You as the first councillors, as the first leaders in a democratic society, had all of these plans, had put in these policies. Now it is safe to say that some of those plans did not work as much as you wanted them. People are essentially struggling in terms of basic services.
Definitely.
What went wrong?
Where it went wrong, it is because our comrades, that we believed that they know the suffering of our people, instead of addressing the real needs of the people, they started to politicize everything that we fought for. But eventually we had credible people, and if ever our comrades knew and understood what were the aims and objectives of us to fight for our freedom, they would not have made the mistakes that they have done. They were supposed to understand that once they occupy the public office, they are apolitical. They were not supposed to politicize everything. But now if you can see, everything here has been politicized. Even the monies that were supposed to go to the people, to address the needs of the people, they've gone to their pockets. Hence we are having this problem.
I'm coming in again to say that your meeting yesterday, quite progressive, speaking about how you are not going to disrupt the November 1 elections. Definitely. You said that you want the democratic process to unfold first, and thereafter you want to tend to your issues. But tending to your issues, the resolution you've taken is that communities and Soweto in its whole must actually organize itself. Just take us through some of the resolutions resolutions from yesterday, particularly about residents organizing themselves and speaking in one voice.
Yes. What we have said, ladies and gentlemen, to when we were saying that really we are not going to stand in front of the people or advise other people to vote for anybody. We are a democratic structure. We believe that each and every person has got the freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association. What we are saying to our people, please, when you are going to these elections, get credible people, people who understand your needs, people who are going to respect you, people who are going to do what the people want, not what they want. And they must know that when they occupy those offices, they are there to serve the interest of the people, not the interest of the political parties, but the interest of the people. The reason why we are saying this, they've got to understand that they are going to be serving the people, irrespective of their political affiliation. And they must understand that they are being paid by the taxpayers' monies. Now, when they occupy those offices, they must know that they are not the bosses of the people, but they are the servants of the people.
All right, Baba, we'll have to leave it there for now because of time. But I can tell you, Anika, that at this very moment, we haven't really drilled into the issues of in Shawela here. But I did want to put in that point of someone who was a councillor post the apartheid area, who was a councillor at Democratic Dispensation. But speaking about some of the things that went wrong, what you will be seeing here, Tebogo Masilo is showing you, there are community leaders, there are community members that have gathered here at that very sports ground where that meeting was held yesterday. And we're still going to speak to them a little bit later on in terms of some of the issues, particularly facing Shawela. We'll be moving around to other areas, of course, in Soweto, just to get a sense of really what people are looking for when it comes to local government elections.
Lindo, thank you so much. We're going to move to Mpumalanga now, where NKOSAZANA DAMBUZA is standing by. NKOSAZANA, we're hearing about service delivery issues at just about every province that we cross to. Similar issues in Mpumalanga, but will people be mobilized enough to go to the polls?
Well, Annika, I can tell you that I'm actually standing outside a post office in the community of Leandra in Mpumalanga, where people are queuing outside to receive their monthly 350 social relief and distress grants. And I can tell you that people here are mostly despondent. And as you can see, they're now just rushing into this post office because they are desperate. And this speaks to the socio-economic issues that they are facing in this community. The people here are mostly just discouraged, really, by the local government's failures to deliver quality services, and the promises that were made to them in previous elections, like providing for them RDP houses and jobs. But I'm just going to bring in one of the community members, Collen. Thank you so much, Collen. I was iziphi ithembiso enaninikwe zona kuma-elections a-2019 obona ukuthi namanje sawufezeka?
Okay. All right. My name is Collen. My surname is MUWABI. Sinesikhalo vele la iLeslie, sibantu baseLeslie siyakhala kakhulu. Ulusha alunamsebenzi. And ama-promises besinawo ebasinika wona labantu abafulfill ama-promises wabo. Oqala izindlu azikho, iy'tandi lezi nazo azikho, banikezana izindlu ngobuhlobo, nomsebenzi nawo uyathengiswa. The rest abobaba abasebenzi, bathatha abomama babafaka emsebenzini, and labomama abasebenzi mesingahamba masiyobahlola baxoxa izindaba la emaposini la. So abobaba abasebenzi kumele bondla abantwana, bazobondla ngani bangasebenzi? Kungabe size la eposini dala sifikile kuvulwa late. And ama-promises la basithembisa wona abawufulfill ama-promises, because ulusha siyakhala, ulusha liningi lifundile ama-matrix, so ama-opportunities abawatholi, you see. And abantwana nabo banabantwana nabo abazali babo bathola ubunzima, you see.
Kade ningitshela futhi ngendaba ze-RDP houses ukuthi banithembisa zona kodwa namanje ngokoyibona, kanye nokuthi futhi imigwaqo yala emphakathini nje isesimene esibi kakhulu.
Yebo. Imigwaqo yala lokushini vele ayilungiswa mangabe kuza umuntu omkhulu. Kanti sebalungisa ngoba kuza umuntu omkhulu uzobona lamahlazo angisho. So thina silusha la lokushini imdala mara kusala sengilwela lolusha. thina sesibadala ulusha nala lisebenzi abazali abasebenzi la umsebenzi ayikho umsebenzi yathengiswa la elokishini and kuqashwana ngokwazana futhi amaposta ayaphuma ama-CV yakhishwa le mali ye-CV ngabe sothenga ngayo isishiwo thatha la ma-CV bayadabula and abantu abadala abasebenzi abobaba abasebenzi abantwana abasebenzi imizi nayo ayitholakali sesisuka la siye Devon siyolwela izinto esingazi ngabe silwela indawo yethu sesiyodisturb abanye abantu eDevon nakhona sinezindlu zidliwe ngokumanje kumele sifake ama-hawks ayeDevon kuyolwela lona ubukhonyovi lobu ekade benzeka la elokishini thengiswa izindlu ngey'mbuzi thengiswa izindlu ngey'nkomo manje sesikhathele sivotele bani ubani esomvotela ubani esomthemba lapha esihlalweni akekho
ingabe nizovota ezumphakathi waseLeandra nizoya nje ukuyovota
cha ukuvota sibona ngathi angeke sesivotela ukuthi lama 350 basinikeza senze njani sesivotela ukuthi net basinikele imali sidle kade sivota sesikhathele abafethu bayazi baningi abafethu abalela ukushini bakade sivota la so no changes they have a lot of promises but no changes sibathi kuyaliwa yonke into abantwana bafundile bafundele ubuya bazohlala emakhaya abobaba bakhipha imali bafundisa abantwana babuye bazohlala elokishini so siyapi nalempilo kukumaye lesi nayibona injani izindlela izindlu abantu abasebenzi sesiqindezo lama foreigners manje la sesibuke lama foreigner agcwele la sesizwa ngama foreigners la thina sisakhona ukuveza uvo lethu
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Colin. Just to give you an idea, Anika, he's just complaining about the issue of unemployment in the area, and he says that in order for people to get jobs, they normally have to pay brown envelopes, that it's a matter of having to pay bribes in order for you to secure employment in this area.
NKOSAZANA DAMBUZA, we're hearing promises but no changes, and the question is, will people use their voices at the polls in order to effect those changes?